Hey, it's Chris. I don't often make rumors-based videos, but Bloomberg's Mark Gurman has been in the news a lot recently with some interesting rumors. And I thought I'd make a video about if these rumors were true, would you buy an iPhone 13? Should you? Now, in my most recent video where I talked about real differences between Android and iPhones, I said, with new iPhones, I think you generally know what to expect year to year. Probably a more iterative approach to improving what's already a highly polished phone that basically just works. Each year, I think it's pretty clear that Apple's mostly concerned with competing against itself, and only itself. And if these particular rumors turn out to be true, then the iPhone 13 will more or less meet those expectations. Now, in the back of your head, if you're wondering why iPhones seem to change so little year over year versus Android devices, many of which try out all kinds of crazy new features, I really broke that down in detail in that last video. So I'm gonna link it up down below. But let's go ahead and dig into Gurman's camera-based rumors first, starting with the new portrait video mode, which Gurman says Apple is going to call cinematic video. The idea here being that you'll be able to artificially blur out the background in your iPhone videos and then adjust that amount of blur afterwards. Now, this isn't a new idea. Samsung tried this before, and we've all experienced some less than stellar Zoom calls with blurry background effects, and even Apple has already been talking about FaceTime calls with blurred out backgrounds. But if Apple does bring portrait mode video to the iPhone 13, I would definitely expect it to be implemented better than we've ever seen it done before, which is not to say that I would expect it to be flawless, especially on Apple's first attempt. That said, here's what I think this feature would ultimately do. It could make your videos feel more artistic, and it can make it look like you are shooting on more expensive equipment than you actually were, while saving you thousands of dollars because you're not having to buy expensive lenses or full frame cameras. This is a feature that, if well executed, could absolutely appeal to every iPhone user out there, not just the pros. But it all depends on how well it's done. Another potential video-focused improvement that Gurman says could be on the way is ProRes encoding, which basically offers serious video editors more creative control. Now, less overall people are gonna end up caring about this, so I don't wanna dwell on it too much, other than to say this is a video compression format that gives video editors maximum creative flexibility while also cutting down on the storage that's needed. Remember ProRAW on the photo side of things? That was a big announcement recently. This is kind of like that, but for video. Another camera-focused rumor that Gurman put out there recently that I think more people would end up caring about and probably using has to do with smarter, more targeted photo filters that would be powered by AI that would let users edit just specific areas of photos rather than the entire image. If true, what it would let you do is pick out certain things like faces or objects in your photos and make them warmer or cooler or more dramatic or more balanced. Now, the results are kind of hard to picture if you don't have an example right in front of your face, but it sounds to me like a way for Apple to bring photographic best practices, knowledge that real photographers have, and apply it to everyday photos and situations. Now, just thinking about how people would integrate this into their everyday lives and how much of a difference it would make, I mean, I don't go and personally edit every single photo. Usually, it's just the photos that I either favorite or end up sharing. And I'm guessing that's similar to a lot of people. But Apple allowing people to make the moments that really count really good, really easily, is definitely a selling point. Hey, just real quick, if you're liking the vibe of this video, why not take a minute and hit subscribe? Because we talk about all kinds of interesting stuff around here. And I wanna let you know I'm giving away a brand new HomePod Mini. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram and Twitter. The links are down below, and then I'll announce the winner on those platforms at the end of the month. Now, of course, everybody's expecting a new chip, probably the A15, to debut in the new iPhone 13 lineup. Now, I don't think this chip is gonna be anywhere near as exciting as the A16, let's call it, the chip after this, which is likely to be a bigger deal, ironically, because it's gonna be smaller, probably 3 nanometers. But what we can probably expect from the A15 this year would be slight improvements in battery life and performance. Now, one of the rumors floating around out there is that the iPhone 13 is going to have a smaller notch. If you want to really overanalyze that, you could say, well, technically that would leave a little extra screen space for some kind of other feature. A smarter take, though, on this rumor that really doesn't seem to matter much in the big scheme of things would be that, for better or worse, the notch is kind of a symbol of iPhone ownership. It's branding in a way. And whether you love it or hate it, it does let the world around you know that you're using an iPhone. In practical terms though, if Apple does keep the notch around, what it means for you if you've upgraded from a recent iPhone model is that it's gonna feel like a different phone. The rumor is once again floating around that we could finally see an iPhone with 120 hertz refresh rate. And once again, this is a rumor that's mostly gonna get the hardcore techies out there fired up. For years now, even top of the line iPhones have had screens that are a little less responsive, a little less smooth than several Android devices, and even than iPad Pros with their ProMotion displays. So maybe this will be the year, and I kind of have a feeling that it will, when iPhone users scroll through their timelines, scroll through their Photos app, and it feels nice and fluid. If it is, one thing I'm confident about is that you're not gonna wanna go back to using a device with a slower refresh rate, because this is kind of one of those things that you don't really care about until you experience it. If this isn't the year, then the world's gonna keep on spinning and lots of people are gonna buy iPhones and still will enjoy using them, maybe love using them, because at the end of the day, this is a nice to have feature. It's not a must have feature. People are gonna argue about that. Another rumor says that the iPhone might finally get an always on display. Again, something that many Android devices have been enjoying for years. Now, this is an area where I really feel like Apple could vastly outdo the competition. Picture an always on display on an Android device. It's usually some black and white text in a little piece of the screen somewhere. It's not the full screen, right? That's kind of what people expect. But if Apple brought what they were doing with the always on display on the Apple Watch, where things are not just in black and white, but they're in full color, just kind of a toned down version, that would be pretty mind-blowing if you use the full screen of your iPhone. Now, if these rumors hold up, and this kind of ends up being a lot of what Apple announces for the iPhone 13, I don't think we can expect a price jump. Probably, I would expect Apple to be on stage and towards the end of all this say, and we've managed to do all of this while keeping the price the same, right? You can see it. So if these rumors are true, would it be enough to make you buy a new iPhone? Well, that completely depends on the iPhone that you have. If you're coming from a recent iPhone, especially the iPhone 12, you probably could sit this one out. Although let's face it, there's plenty of people who just upgrade because they like to have the latest thing in their pocket. Here's a filter I think I would use, especially if I was coming from an older iPhone. I would say, does the iPhone 13, once I found out about the real features, allow me to do things that are entirely new to my iPhone experience, or does it just let me do things that I could already do with my current model just a little bit better? That's what I would think real hard about. All right, that's my take on the rumors so far. Hopefully it was at least entertaining, if not a little insightful. And don't forget, you can check out Jarvis, my AI writing assistant, which helped me tighten up this script quite a bit. It doesn't do the writing for me, but it really fine tunes it. It rephrases things, it makes things simpler, easier to understand, and then I can spit that out here on the video and sound a lot smarter, or like I know what I'm doing. So that is linked up down in the description for you. Also, don't forget, I'm giving away a brand new HomePod. Just follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'll be announcing the winner at the end of the month, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.